I'm Lauren.
And I'm Tiaru. Today's top stories. Aliens have invaded and they're bringing cookies. A one-man band is with us and his 20 instruments. And kidnappings in the Huntley area are not yet ceased. The constable is with us. This and more tonight on Far Down News.
Breaking news. Aliens have landed in Picton, but they seem to be friendly and are bringing cookies with them. Despite their nice, friendly personality, citizens are fleeing for their lives, traumatised. They have landed their ship in the countryside, just outside of Picton, and it looks nothing like the UFOs of the silver screen. It looks like one massive frying pan propelled forward by rockets on giant metal pancake-like wings. This terror from an unknown planet is cooking up a storm, sending flying fudge, cascading cookies and soaring scones whizzing throughout the neighbourhood along with a variety of other gourmet goodies. We go now live to our reporter, Helen, who is with one of the aliens' victims.
Thanks, Lauren. I'm here now with Mrs. Scavenge, one of the unlucky victims of an alien named Ogfog. Panic is rising and so is the number of tasty treats outside homes. So, what does Ogfog look like?
Well, they were fluoro pink with bunny ears on top of their heads. Their feet looked like hands, and they had an apron wrapped around their waist.
What terror did you suffer at the hands of this kitchen nightmare?
Well, he made a portrait of me out of hot food, then threw it at my face, and I suffered from terrible burning.
What kind of fear did he cook up for you?
I was so scared I was almost peeing myself.
How did you get this horrible beast out of your kitchen?
I got the broom and whacked him in the tush.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Scavenge. That's all from me. Stay tuned. Back to you, Lauren.
Thanks for that, Mrs. Scavenge. I really wouldn't like to be a victim of that delectable disaster. But here's another astonishing story. It has been 4 years since Joe started trying to play 2 instruments at once, and he now plays sold-out shows on various sidewalks. Now this may sound like an ordinary busker, but he plays much more than 2 instruments now. His range includes guitar, snare drum, hi-hat, floor tom, crash cymbal, bass drum, keyboard, tuba, piccolo, alto saxophone, trombone, tambourine, harmonica, bass guitar, double violin, double bass, violin, xylophone, maracas, triangle, and his legendary air guitar all at the same time. You'd think he would be absolutely rich by now, but he's still trying to pay off his debts on his instruments and his rent. We go now to our reporter Jamie, who is with Joe right now.
Thanks, Tudor. I'm here with Joe, or as she likes to call herself, Josephine. How are you today?
Good.
That's good. What was the first instrument you learned how to play?
The harmonica.
Well, that's an interesting choice. Are you planning on learning any other instruments?
Yes.
Which ones?
I'm going to save up to go to Australia and learn how to play the didgeridoo.
That's quite cool. Do you see yourself as a celebrity?
Yes and no.
What do you mean by that?
Well, when you go to the supermarket, people recognise you, but other times they don't really recognise you that much.
Okay. Now over to Aylin with the sports report.
Thanks for that, Josh. Now for our sports report. I'm Aylin and welcome to the sports report. Today people have spotted that there were 8 very hunky-looking men on the surf at Bikini Bottom. They were supposedly disrupting persons' activities, and 7 of them have been charged with having too many abs and not enough flab. Unfortunately, this does not go for the other one, who has been charged with too much flab and not enough ab. I have spoken with the one who's been charged with too much flab, and I quote, "I find it ridiculous that a slightly overweight man like me cannot be seen in public places. I am disgusted that I will have to pay the fine, and you'll be hearing from me again." That's all our hunk had to say for now. There was also a spotting of a Shirts and Skins volleyball game on Sandy Crack Resort in New Jersey. The Skins team gaining bonus points for each ab they had. Unfortunately, they also lost points for flabs, which were most commonly found. But they won with bonus points thanks to Abulicious Mr. Ripple, taking them to the top with bonus points of 103.763. I'm Aylin, and this is the sports report. Back to Lauren in the studio.
Recently, homeless people on the streets of Huntley have been disappearing one by one. Many find it a blessing, while others still think that these lost citizens deserve justice. It's a part of Huntley, some say. Others think differently, much differently. The police are stumped as to how it's happening. Their only lead is a garbage truck disappearing down the street soon after the kidnappings happened. but a police spokesperson said, "It's only a garbage truck. How could it possibly be the reason?" Is this dastardly act going to be left to lie, or will some new dirt be spilled on the mystery? Vote on our online poll at www.fardownnews.com/polls. Is it a down-and-out case? Will it be dispossessed and left to lie? We go now to our reporter, Jamie, who's with the police constable. Over to you, Jamie.
Thanks, Lauren. I'm here with Constable Constipation. How are you feeling right now, Constable?
Oh, I'm feeling pretty stuck up, actually.
So when did the first disappearance happen?
It happened about 3 or 4 weeks ago in this very bathroom.
Are you worried at this point?
Yes, I am quite worried. I'm worried that it will bundle up into one big ball and then slide out at once.
And finally, do you have any leads at all?
We have a few leads, like strange gases and brown marks on the floor.
Okay, thank you, Constable. It's great to have you here. I'm getting a reading. They say that the case has been solved. They're saying that the garbage truck has been putting the homeless people in bags and then driving them down to the power plant. Thank you. Here now to Sarah with the weather.
Thank you, Jamie, and good evening, New Zealand. Let's have a look at the weather we have tomorrow. Starting in the far north, a completely unexpected tropical storm will hit Kaitaia, along with some pretty flash flooding and raindrops as big as your head. If you're going outside, bring your hat or a small shelter. Moving down the island in Auckland, there will be a mix of fair and unfair conditions until lunchtime. But those are the conditions and you'll just have to expect them. An anticyclone meets a tropical cyclone in the Bay of Plenty. Tune in tomorrow and see what will happen. Will they fight or cancel each other out? Maybe they'll end up as friends. Wait and see. In Napier and Hastings, the weather will be occasionally changeable and occasionally not. We really have no idea what will happen there. In Taranaki, a mild depression brings with a very dull day with no highlights whatsoever. It will be gloomy, overcast and miserable morning. However, things should cheer up by the evening, so don't worry, everything will be fine. Wellington will have another capital day. There will be no wind at all and the day conditions will be so pleasant they'll actually be classed as extreme. In the top of the South Island, Kaikoura can expect to have a good day, meeting friends for lunch, going for a swim or reading the newspaper. But whatever you do, try to stay indoors as the weather will be just terrible. A real mix for Christchurch, where exclusive rainfalls hit along with some unreasonable sun showers, sensible wind, moderate thunderstorm and a smattering of very angry snow. And in the lower South Dunedin, there will be frosty, cold and unfriendly until late morning, when the sun will pop over for a visit. Everybody likes sun. That's all from me, and remember, if it's raining outside, that's the weather for you. Good night, New Zealand. That's all from me. Now back to the news desk with Lauren and Te Uru.
Well, that's all we have time for.
See you tomorrow. Ka kite anō. Good night, everybody.
Tonight we are featuring an interview with a very peculiar-looking gentleman.
Scene 1, take 1.